When I first played Street Fighter V, the first character I ended up choosing was Laura because she had a big and huge and juicy personality.
Of course!
So when I chose her, I had zero idea what a V trigger and a V skill were, let alone what they even do. But now that my inner Street Fighter self has matured, it really got me thinking. Why don't I use her opposite V skill and V trigger now that I know how to actually play the game? So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. This is the part where I was supposed to put my gameplay footage in, but the audio kind of got fucked up. I mean, it didn't kind of, it got fucked up. Like, you can't even hear my voice in it, which is really annoying because I whooped serious ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about my experience using them while the footage plays. As I used her opposite V skill and V trigger, I immediately understood why nobody in their right minds uses these V techniques. Her V skill 2, Volty Sprink, is a retarded hop that can either be turned into an axe kick or a thunderclap. This sucks for many reasons. For one, it could easily be anti-aired, and for two, it comes out like it's slow motion. A fucking toddler would be able to counter it. A fucking dead squirrel will even counter it. Her V-Trigger 2 is Shock Stance. It's a bit better, you know, I was able to win some matches using the technique. It acts somewhat like a command grab, but there's just one issue. The damage it does is complete dog shit. It doesn't even stun them afterwards. There's real no point in using it, just use a regular command grab or even just a simple grab. Now it does have some redeeming qualities, you know, don't get me wrong. Its animation is pretty cool. Laura gets her opponent like this standing guillotine choke, and then she starts making fun of them while she's squeezing the oxygen out of them. You know, not to sound weird or anything, but it doesn't sound like a bad way to go, if you know what I mean. But it still sucks compared to V-Trigger 1. You know, V-Trigger 1 is like a damage buff, while V-Trigger 2 just gives her like an extra command grab. You know, if you really want an extra command grab, then you could use V-Trigger 2, but I definitely would not recommend. So to conclude, just stay as far away from V-Trigger 1 and V-Trigger 2 as possible. You know, it's just hazardous at this point. It'll only bring you L's and a lower self-esteem. You know, I felt like the biggest bitch after I finished playing. I don't know why. I just did. It's just not worth it, man. Just stick to the original V techniques. Your life will be a lot happier.